Guns N' Roses, and I just saw them not that long ago. Big fan forever. Is it a great show right now? Like, I saw you guys not that long ago, and it's great. It's still a real rock show. You're going to Guns N' Roses for nostalgia. Bush, new songs, charting, doing well. It's just saying it's a different thing. Foo Fighters, maybe. That's another one, right? He's stayed cool his whole life.
He stayed cool.
I don't mean to on other people.
This isn't saying that I have to defend Guns N' Roses while we got Gavin here. It's like I don't think that we even have to fight this.
No,
I mean, Slash still has snakes on his arms and plays guitar solos. I'm not saying Axl, who's after two songs has to go get oxygen. Yeah. God bless him.
Whatever.
Duff's cool. Duff will kick everyone's ass.
I mean, you're in great shape. You still play tennis pretty regularly, I would imagine.
Yeah, I love it.
All right. Yeah. And you're in good shape. I'm not going to ask you to do this now because I don't want Shannon to pass out, but you could probably take your shirt off and still look good. That's a rare thing these days. So kudos to you.
I did that yesterday. I did a photo shoot yesterday with no top on. It was funny.
That's fine. It's also, by the way, slightly emasculating. You refer to it as a top.
That's a top.
Sure. Say things different over there.
Top sounds
I'm English.
I always say if you want to emasculate a guy, say, "Hey, nice blouse. I like your blouse."
Yeah, that would be.
Use that this week.
That's demasculating for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fighting talk.
It really is. And so to go back again, of course, the album that broke you guys, 16, some 30 years almost to the month or something that it came out, right? The first song you wrote by yourself is "Come Down," right? That was when you kind of found your original voice as Gavin.
When I played guitar. When I played guitar, because
right.
I used to be waiting around for a guitar player to. I'd been in a band before Bush,
right.
and the guy didn't want me to play guitar because he was very good of a certain style, and I was really not very good.
Was that the band Midnight? Was that one?
No, that was we had this band in between. We had about many names. We went through a lot of names. I could give you 4 names, but it didn't really go anywhere. But it's kind of cool. Sometimes you got to do something to figure out what you don't want to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I was in that band, and I was like, okay, I don't want to do it. And then that band broke up, and then when I was looking for people to work with, I felt a bit like fraudulent. I was like, well, what, you're going to be a singer-songwriter in your life, but you can't actually, you need someone else to write a song. It seemed a bit basic. So I sat down and I found Come Down, and that was it. And then that's why I did end up writing the songs myself, because the way we worked, that's how I wrote the songs. And the guy that I worked with, the original guitar player, he was doing these he'd make these training videos for corporate people. And so he's making like good money, like
an editor production kind of thing?
$1,000 for a company selling shoes, and he'd do that. So he didn't want to do any work with me or put any effort in, like writing a song, if there was no one's going to pay him. But what he did say is, I'll demo these songs for you. So we would demo all of 16 Stone, and then every 3 songs I say, are we going to write now? Let's write. You're amazing. Well, you play guitar. Because no, this is how it works. You're going to bring me these songs, and I'm going to demo them, and I'm going to continue doing what I do. And if it happens, great. And if it doesn't, and all that happened is that I'm a McGregor. So I was like, I didn't give up, and I kept writing and kept going to his house with like, here's another 3 songs, and then we had that's what 16 Stone was, and so that's how it began. It wasn't like me, I got to do it. I've got to do,
right.
Really
so you were given no option, so you made it work.
Yeah, they didn't. They had no interest in writing songs.
Just like I heard that every label passed on you guys initially, right? Yeah. And then you moved to LA and you got like an independent.
I didn't even move to LA.
I mean, you went to LA. Sorry.
I got a deal. Yeah, someone came over. He was actually starting this label. It's called Trauma, and it was signed in the Valley, and everyone told me not to do it. But I just imagined my life based on the Pixies, who had done that thing where they signed with
4AD.
the excellent 4AD in London, and in England. It's like the best label. And I thought, oh, well, if it's nothing, it wasn't even an option. Didn't have anything to fall back on. So I was like, I just had to take the leap of faith. And then, then we lost the deal because when we delivered the record to the distributor, which was Hollywood Records, they threw the CD at the head of the label and said, there's not even any, not only is no singles on this record, there's not even an album track. Right. So that was someone at Hollywood Records. And then I went back to work. I had a job, I was like,
you were a house painter, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, painted 11 dentist offices at that point.
Did you just get a good dental plan out of that or no?
No.
Oh, God.
And then I found out that in the November of that year that after being back at work for a couple of months, that the song was a hit at K-Rock.
K-Rock, and you didn't even know what K-Rock was at that time, which I love that. There's like K-Rock, all right, cool. What the f*** is that?
Yeah, exactly.
So when the one story, and then we'll move on from 16 Stone, but I don't know if this story is true, but if it is, I just love this image. I don't know how old you were when you were writing that record, but I would imagine early 20s.
Yeah,
Is that a fair?
kind of thing, yeah.
Right? And you wrote Glycerin, excuse me, and Dave, your former manager, who I think is no longer around, and your band members, and you're performing acoustically the first time this very emotional song, and your heart's on your sleeve, you're really pouring it out there, and they start not listening, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, guys, this is important to me. Can you shut the up and listen to this song? And that's how that song ends up coming on the record. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so accurate to the sense that I wrote this song, and it was weird because I heard Noel Gallagher talking about a song that he'd written the other day that when he took it to rehearsals, Live Forever. It's the first proper song he felt he wrote for Oasis. And he's obviously incredible songwriter. And they didn't believe he'd written it. And when I wrote Glycerin, it seemed so much better than anything I'd ever done that I was convinced that it must be from somewhere else. I was like, I can't have done that. And it just came out very stream of conscious, and I wrote it one time. And when I took it to this terrible rehearsal room in West London, they were just, they're just being like, just bored, and they're talking amongst themselves. And I was halfway through the song, and I stopped, and I was like, I think, just hold on. I think the song could just let me start again. You're not paying attention. I think we got it. And they didn't pay attention. They didn't care. And they never did, because they didn't have to. Whenever I play that song, that's easy. My band.
They don't have to do anything.
No, they just leave and get drinks. It's perfect. It's the best song. They want me to play it 3 times a night.
Hilarious. I love that. And also, what's interesting, and I was talking so James is a working comedian, right? And what's interesting is comedians, I feel, and you may feel like I'm wrong about this.
Congrats.
Right?
What a big deal.
Comedians are like 10 years into comedy, and a lot of other comics consider you still trying to find your voice, still pretty new. But musicians, you can make it big almost right away. You had to take a few years into it, but because you've said in many interviews, even now, your voice is changing. It's 30 years later. The newest records are harder than ever. So it's interesting how you expect to know your voice so early on, but you change as a person.
Right.
So things change. It's just kind of the parallels between comedians and musicians I've always find fascinating. Is all I'm saying. If that makes any sense.
Well, it's an amazing job. I love stand-up comics, and I think it's just incredible, because much like it's a bit like, I always think of it like, because I think about me on stage, it's like breakdancers. Breakdancers, they come on stage and they create this vortex of energy around them. And it's the same thing with a stand-up comic. By pulling you into their world, you get mesmerized and pull into this great place that they have. And so whether it's like Bill Burr, Dave Attell, all these guys, I love them, and the way their minds work. I think that it's an incredibly hard job, and it's a beautiful job.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention this, James.
What?
Shannon, you know what I'm going to say. I used to be a breakdancer. And
my biggest inspiration as a comic is him as a breakdancer.
I was
you should know that.
And to much chagrin of my other hosts.
And I can only imagine you broke a lot of stuff.
I was only 5'7" at the time. I was 14, and I was in a movie called Crush Group, which was a big breakdancing movie.
Can you believe this?
Yeah, I was
This
in.
son of a bitch.
I was picked out because I used to go breakdancing to make money in Manhattan, and we were picked out. My brother and I, 2 white Jewy boys, come be in this movie. And that's
But that whole
did all
the
that
world
stuff. All
that
that
you get
nonsense. Yeah.
is just
Can't do it now. I would die.
mesmerizing.
Yeah, but I did it then.
He did a kick worm after
I did
we
do it.
lost a bet, and he was banged up for 2 days.